My name is Dr. T. Ayodele Ajay. I'm a consultant psychiatrist and I work in the NHS. And also I do write a regular column on mental health for Testify newspaper.
Sometimes I feel lost, said the boy.
The past few months have been hard on everyone, including our kids.
Isn't it odd? We can only see our outsides, but nearly everything happens on the inside.
What is the bravest thing you've ever said? Asked the boy.
Help, said the horse.
The Every Mind Matters campaign is a Public Health England initiative which is focused on the parents of young people from the age of 5 up until 18, and also the young people themselves from the age of 13 to 18. And this is to help with promoting optimal mental health at this difficult period of the COVID-19 crisis. And it's particularly focused on young people and their parents. There is research showing that at this time, people who are young are particularly reporting increasing levels of anxiety in relating to the crisis. And there is also research showing that the parents of these young people are struggling with knowing how to support them with promoting optimal mental well-being.
Every Mind Matters will help you find what's right for your kids, with tips and advice to help you support your child's mental well-being during this time. Whether it's listening to them talk about the challenges they're facing or helping them develop skills to cope with their emotions, supporting your children's mental well-being can help them boost their mood, feel good about themselves, and be ready for life's challenges.
The campaign supports both parents and carers because it provides information to parents and carers on how to support their children in this difficult period, and also how to take care of their own mental health and mental well-being. It also gives information about how to know the warning signs of that things are going wrong with the mental health of their children and what to do to help their children to remain well. This survey results shows that one, that there's increasing level of anxiety being reported among young people. One survey shows that 52% of parents who are surveyed reported that their top 3 priorities when thinking about the COVID-19 crisis is the impact that this is going to have on the mental health of their children. In addition, about 2/3 of parents also report that there has been changes in the behavior of their children over this period. So we do know that this crisis is having an impact not only on adults, but also on young people. There is also another survey finding that shows that about 23% of parents say that their children have struggled with sleep difficulties over this period, and that up to 19% of children have actually been behaving in an unusual way. They've misbehaved over the period as well. This is founded on research that there's an impact, a negative impact on the mental well-being of young people. And so there's a need to address those figures and to put things in place to help parents and also carers. The signs and symptoms will usually depend on the age of the child. It will depend on how they've coped with stress in the past and just their general demeanor. So in terms of signs and symptoms to look out for, sleep, for instance, they might find that there's sleep disturbance. They might have difficulty going to sleep or waking up too early. They might go off their food. They might find that they have a low appetite. Some of them might actually express anxiety. They might become panicky. They might become anxious for no apparent reason. Can begin to express concern about going to school. They might also display other things like being socially withdrawn. And they might actually express negative thoughts about themselves, about their future, about their well-being. You might find that they are more lacking in confidence. Somebody who is usually outgoing becomes more withdrawn. They might not want to interact with friends and family as they used to. So these are signs and symptoms that parents and carers need to look out for in their children and their wards. It's not as exceptional to people of Black ethnic minority. However, the things that we found out is increasing levels of anxiety, poor self-confidence, depressed mood. Also, there are also particular issues that are relating to young people of Black ethnic minority backgrounds. For instance, the recent Black Lives Matters has flagged up a few issues for children and young people from that background, because the issue of identity and belonging is something that has become more prevalent, and it's something that is now in their face, something that they need to deal with. So those are peculiar issues to young people of Black ethnic minority backgrounds. And of course, we do know that just like it is with other children and other young people, we know that a lot of them have missed several months of school, that they've not been able to, up until very recently, they've not been able to socialize with their family and their friends. So the isolation, the impact of not being able to engage in physical activities, not being able to engage in leisure activities, all of those have taken a toll on the mental health and mental well-being of young people and children across the nation. Mental health is not something that we discuss or that we like to talk about. And not only so, there's a lot of stigma associated with this. Stigma festers based on misinformation and secrecy. So when there's secrecy and there's misinformation and there are lots of myths, this tends to fester the stigma. And so that's also one of the hindrances to young people of Black ethnic minority getting the support and the help that they need with their mental health, either because their parents are not aware of what's going on, or when they're aware, they don't know where to turn to for help, or when they know where to turn to for help, they're concerned about the impact that this is going to have on the well-being and the future of their children. But the key message is always that children are better off receiving help upfront and as soon as possible. Early intervention is always favorable towards better outcomes than when the interventions are delayed.
Sometimes I feel lost, said the boy.
Me too, said the mole. But we love you.
And love brings you home.
What are the tips that parents can lash onto or hold on to help to support the well-being, mental well-being of young people and children, and also the children that they care for? So there are about 5 of them, and this has been endorsed by the NHS. So the first thing is to be available to listen, create time to listen to young children and to just hear them out. And of course, the other point will be to show interest in the things that they are interested in, to remain engaged and remain involved in their lives. So show interest in whatever it is that interests them, be it computer, be it dancing, be it music, whatever it is that interests these young people, do show interest and be involved in their lives. The third point will be to support positive routine. We know that the most powerful way that children learn is by mimicking their parents and mimicking the important adults in their lives. So it's important that adults in their life actually show the way by supporting positive routines in terms of good bedtime routines, eating healthy, and also exercising, being engaged in a positive lifestyle. All of these are very important because they ultimately promote positive well-being for young people. Creativity is also something that we know is very positive towards mental health and mental well-being. In addition to that, the final thing is to take them seriously. It's very important at this time that young people not only know that you're available to listen, but also that you take what they say very seriously. So help them to talk through the issues. One of the things that is not very prevalent among Black ethnic minority communities is that we are not people who talk. We don't like to talk about our emotions. We don't like to talk about our feelings. But we do know that this is something that we need to encourage our young people to do, to help them to talk about their emotions, to help them to talk about the feelings that they have, and so that these things can be resolved. And it's also a positive sign to young people at this time, because if you help them to talk about their emotions, they will grow up knowing that it's okay to talk. So the place to go for information is www.everymindmatters.co.uk. And that information is going to be on your screen right now. The other website is www.nhs.uk/1u/every-mind-matters. It's very important to emphasize that parents who go to that website actually take a mind plan quiz. This is just 5 questions long. So it's not going to take more than a minute to answer the questions. And that will then generate for you a tailor-made mind plan to actually address your own mental well-being as a parent. So it's not just about supporting the mental well-being of children. It's also about you yourself as a parent or carer being in a robust place with your mentors to be able to support the people that you support. So that's a very key message about the mind plan quiz. It's just about a minute, and it will give you a tailor-made guide on how to take care of your own mental well-being.
Supporting your children's mental well-being can help them boost their mood, feel good about themselves, and be ready for life's challenges.
Sometimes I feel lost, said the boy.
Me too, said the mole. But we love you.
And love brings you home. Visit Every Mind Matters today.